Chapter 7. Sri Sadguru said, "For the chaste women, their husbands are the final refuge. Such women worship their husbands as gods. A woman who forsakes her husband and falls in love with another man is despised by the world. She finds no happiness on this earth and in the other world too. She who follows her husband, like Madhayanti, who worshipped her husband despite being a demon in nature, is adored by people in the world. A chaste woman with her eyes set on happiness in store in the other world should adore her husband even if he is handicapped or poor or afflicted by some disease or even if he is a fool. The greatest fortune of a woman is her husband, whether he is good or bad natured, because she is worshipped as a Sumangali only when her husband is alive. The great Mahatma Ramakrishna had the darshan of Shri Krishna. He was always immersed in Prema Bhakti and stood untouched by this worldly life. He used to dance with joy sometimes and shed tears, singing in praise of Sri Bhagavan in a sweet voice at other times. He used to run like a madman here and there and roll about in the joy on earth. With great joy, he used to embrace the bhaktas present there, chanting the divine names of the Lord like Krishna, Govinda, Gopala, and Madhava. He would repeatedly say in a loud voice, "I beheld before me Sri Gauranga, accompanied by Sri Nityananda. Those two brothers are coming towards me here with prem." Shouting thus, he would run to the bank of the holy Ganga and dance there in joy, chanting the name of Sri Radha Krishna. Those people who could not understand his divinity considered him to be a lunatic. He used to roam about the banks of Ganga, paying no attention to his physical well being. He became lean as he neglected food. His clothes were dirty and hair got matted. There was none to take care of him. Hence, the Yogeshwara wandered like a fool or lunatic or a spirit. The chaste wife, Sharda Devi, was living at Jayarampadi with her parents. The Holy Mother Sharda was given in marriage to the Jnani Ramakrishna even when she was a child. Just then she had reached adolescence. She was alive, just inducted by the desire to meet her husband, but she had to stay at Jairampadi as she was prevented by her relatives from going to Dakshineshwaram. When Mother Sharada learnt that her husband, the great Jnani Sri Ramakrishna, had got maddened with the bhakti towards Lord Krishna, she was excited, and with great anxiety she reached Dakshineshwaram to meet Sri Ramakrishna. She walked all the distance to Dakshineshwaram, taking a lot of pains, induced by the desire to see her husband. There she saw Ramakrishna sitting under a banyan tree in the posture of Sukhasana, quite peaceful, his lotus eyes closed in dhyana. He was as bright as a cluster of suns. His hair was matted, he was lean, and his body was covered with dust. She saw him as the Lord of all worlds, as the God who rescues people from the ocean of samsara, as Lord Narayana who takes incarnations as a part of divine Leela, as a savior of the Dharma, of the self-renowned Paramahamsa, as the universal preceptor, as the abode of all cherishable qualities, as the very embodiment of Krishna Prem, and as the greatest of the Jnanis. Looking at Sri Ramakrishna, her Lord, and the Lord of the world, in such a position, she stood there with folded hands full of surprise and joy. Looking at Paramahamsa, she shed tears. She took genuine pride in the thought that he, the great Jnani, was her husband. Ramakrishna, after some time, looked at his wife standing before him as a statue, approached her with great mercy. Ramakrishna, the gracious, consoled with all affection Sri Sharada Devi, who was lying at his feet and crying. Sri Paramahamsa said, "O Mother of the world, you are welcome. Oh dear, don't feel sad. All my possessions are yours. I myself am in your control. Don't get disheartened at my life as a Paramahamsa. O Goddess of the world, I would become what you want to be. I behold all women in the form of the Mother, Goddess. I see you also as the Mother. Hence, you are fit to be worshipped by me. Sri Sharada said, O Bhagavan, O merciful, I am lucky to be blessed by you. O Lord, what a fortune it is to serve you. How lucky I am. I am not after mere worldly pleasures. I long to be of service to you. I am ready to take woe again and again to serve you. O Lord, I know your divinity. I am poor, simple, and having no other refuge. I am chaste, and I am your servant and devotee. Please do not ignore me. Sri Sadguru continued. Having spoken thus, Sri Sharada Devi fell at the lotus feet of Ramakrishna like a staff and cried out of bhakti in a sweet voice. Then Sri Ramakrishna placed his Abhaya Hasta on her head, gave her refuge, and consoled her. From that day, Sharada stayed with Ramakrishna, subduing all her senses and devoted to the service of Sri Ramakrishna. Thus ends chapter 7, entitled Sri Ramakrishna Charitam 6 of Book 10 of Sri Vaishnava Samhita, composed by Shri Krishna Premi Swamigal.